Alright, so would you eat the school lunches?
Would I eat school lunches? I actually have eaten school lunches. Yeah, I mean, there are times where it's very much a convenience issue. I generally don't because I like to bring my own lunch because I like to make my own lunches and I like to cook anyways. So generally I bring my own lunches, but yeah, I would have school lunch, especially the salads and stuff like that they have.
Alrighty.
Has anyone ever got food poisoning?
To my knowledge, no one has ever had food poisoning from anything from the cafeteria.
Do you know how they prepare the food for the lunches?
The food prepared, I believe, each day after they finish breakfast, they start preparing. Most of it's baked, I believe. Like the burgers and stuff that they do are baked. Because of the size of the school and stuff like that, and the number of staff that they have, I don't know as they do a lot of hand cooking and stuff, like cutting and chopping and all that kind of stuff. I think they do for the salads and those kind of things. But most other things, I believe, are baked.
Do you know anything about the nutritional value in the food?
I know that they have to maintain certain standards, but set by I believe it's the Department of Agriculture.
Right.
It takes care of all that kind of stuff. And so they have to follow those guidelines based upon the food that they serve. So many grains and vegetables and things like that.
What are the most frequently used ingredients?
Well, that's hard to say. A lot of the food that we serve is processed, so things already come pre-made. I would say if the type of food that we serve a lot of chicken, serve a lot of fruits and vegetables. But I'd say as far as the main entree, probably chicken is the most popular and used the most.
How many basic food groups are covered daily in school lunches?
All the food groups are. And we don't even, they don't use a pyramid anymore, and it used to be the 4 food groups. We don't really follow that, but we do follow, like I said, pretty strict nutritional guidelines as far as we have to I have to look, when I plan a menu, I have to look at calories, fat, sodium, trans fat, all of those come into play.
How many carbs are served per day?
Well, it depends on the meal. That is one of the things that I do look at, especially because we have a lot of diabetics in the district, so I do a nutritional analysis and have to look at the carbs. The actual complex carbs, I don't have an exact amount, but when it comes to the sugar content, it's pretty low.
And what about calories?
Calories is based on the grade level, so it's anywhere, say for high school, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's 600 to 700 calories. But again, I have to look at it for each building. I have to look at it according to actual grade levels when we look at the calorie content of the meal.
Do Arrow Park schools meet food standards, and if so, how?
Yes, we have to follow, again, as I said, we are regulated by the USDA and state education, so we have federal and state guidelines that we have to follow. Again, in regard to calories, sodium, fat, trans fat, all of those items have to be accounted for. And actually, past couple of years, we also have, in addition to the regular school lunch, following those guidelines, now all the snacks and beverages that we serve have to follow those guidelines also.
How do school lunches and breakfasts compare?
Well, for breakfast we have to follow guidelines. They're not, they're different than school lunch, but we still have to look at the same parameters. I have to look at what I serve for breakfast, and again, it still has to follow the USDA guidelines.
What brand are the meals?
What's that?
Do you know what brand the meals are? Where they're coming from?
I know where all the food's coming from because I have to, I purchase the food, so, like our local milk company is Burn Dairy, and actually our largest distributors of food are local also. Cisco, Albany, Ginsburg Food Service. I have a local produce guy that I buy local produce from, so I have to, I have to go out to bid and get pricing for all of our food, so I know exactly where all the food comes from.
How often do we get new shipments of food?
every week. Every week. Like we just got a delivery from Cisco today, I'll get Ginsburg tomorrow. Milk is twice a week and bread is twice a week.
Okay. What is done with leftover food?
Well, we try not to have leftover food. We try to we keep production sheets, so every day when the ladies are cooking, they document how much they made, how much they served, how much they have left over. So we try not to have leftovers. We're allowed, if we do have some leftovers, we're allowed to serve them the next day, but after that, we can't, and we wouldn't. But, so we just, again, we try not to have leftovers.
Are public school lunches healthier than private schools?
Actually, a lot of private schools don't have cafeterias, at least some that I've been familiar with. The difference, I think the biggest difference is that usually in public schools we get money from the federal government, so we have to follow guidelines, which is actually a good thing. Federal regulations mandate that we follow, that we do make nutritious meals. Private schools don't usually have to follow those kind of mandates, so.
How nutritious do you think the AP lunches are?
Fair.
What do you mean by that?
I think they could do better.
All right.
Would you eat the lunches?
Some of them. The chicken sandwiches are pretty good, and the chicken nuggets.
Has anyone ever come to you sick about the lunches?
No, but a lot of complaints.
Do you know what happens with the food, like at the end of the day?
They reuse it for the next day, I think.
Buy school lunches?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to buy for lunch?
What are those little sticks of mozzarella called?
Mozzarella sticks?
Those are good.
Do you think school lunches are healthy?
Not really, but I kind of wish they were like more unhealthy, like we had McDonald's here or something. That'd be cool.
Do you think our school lunches are better than other school lunches?
No, I heard at Columbia it's like a mall cafeteria there, so I kind of want that.
You buy school lunch.
Chip,
What's your favorite school lunch to buy?
chicken patty. Don't burn the chicken, man.
Do you think school lunches are healthy?
For the most part, yeah.
How do you compare other school lunches compared to ours?
I mean, I never had other school lunches, but I had our school lunch baked one time. It was the best thing I've ever done.
So, what would make you want to start going to the school cafeteria for lunch?
The two things that would make me go to the cafeteria for lunch would be a really good salad, maybe a grilled chicken salad, something like that, or fresh cut fruit or veggies like that.
Yeah.
So, what do you think would make you want to get lunches here at school?
If the price was affordable, because you buy it every day, and if the food tasted good, and if it was made with good ingredients.
And do you think our public school lunches are healthier or worse than private schools?
I've taught in private schools, and the lunches were much better, but you paid more. In public schools, we use tax money to pay for the lunches.
doing?
Oh, I didn't realize you were going to circle.
I like it.
I didn't
I
know
like
you
it.
gotta join.
Over here, okay.
Join us. Starting a revolution.
It's called the name.
We're doing it. It's gonna be a part of their video. All right, Nate's got to finish it up now. Nate's got to be the last one.
Solo.
Do an action solo.